All right, we should be ready to go then. And anybody have any questions? All right, let's get this thing on the road. You ready, Bill?
I'm ready.
All right, I don't know what I'm doing tonight. My brain is mush today, so hopefully we can stumble through this tonight. All right, here we go. Welcome to Academic Challenge. My name is Jim Gifford, your host and moderator. Today we feature teams from Bridgman and Countryside Academy. This is the first round of our single elimination end-of-season tournament. We have the 4th seed against the 5th seed tonight, with Countryside Academy at the 5th seed with 1 win and 210 points from the regular season. Bridgman, the 4th seed, with 1 win and 220 points. Academic Challenge features scholastic competition involving high schools from Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren counties. It's sponsored by Southwestern Michigan College, Lake Michigan College, Western Michigan University Southwest, and by Chemical Bank. So let's meet the teams first, and we'll start with Countryside Academy. Let's start with the captain, and step up to the microphones and identify yourselves.
I'm James Logston.
Michaela Warren.
Aisha Camera.
I'm Cortland Edwards.
And James, your coach is?
Mr. Cook.
Mr. Cook. And from Bridgman?
Hi, I'm Stephen Walker.
Michael Preston.
Ryan High.
Jason Chang.
Stephen, you're the captain, and your coach or coaches?
Mrs. Veldman and Mr. Nicka.
And everybody is here and ready to go. Here are the basic rules. During the first and second halves, we'll announce the value of each question before it's asked. When you press your button, again, please wait to be recognized. There's no consultation amongst the team allowed. That comes during the 60-second round, which we'll explain later. I'll be your scorekeeper and co-judge tonight, and Bill Klein is asking the questions. And if everybody is ready to go, let's do it. Bill, it's all yours.
For 5 points, plants are producers. They provide food for animals. Animals are consumers. What is the ecological name applied to bacteria which feed on the dead material of plants and animals?
Cortland, Countryside Academy.
Decomposer.
That is correct answer for 5 points. For 10 points, the Colossus of Independence, the Machiavelli of Massachusetts, the father of the American Navy, Duke of Braintree, father of American independence, his rotundity. What American president do these nicknames describe?
Ryan, Bridgman.
William Howard Taft.
Incorrect answer.
Countryside, 5 seconds. James?
George Washington.
John Adams. For 15 points, a math question. A man starting at Allen travels 8 miles north to Bridgetown, then 9 miles east to Cambridge, finally 4 miles north to Doddridge. If he had traveled in a straight line from Allen to Doddridge, his trip would be less by how far?
Michael, Bridgman.
5 miles.
Incorrect answer.
Countryside, 5 seconds.
It's 6 miles. Close. Okay, for 10 points, spell the possessive plural of the word woman.
Stephen, Bridgman.
WOMEN apostrophe S.
That's correct answer
For
10 points. For 15 points, John Ray, the English botanist, divided all flowering plants into 2 great categories. Name them.
James, Countryside Academy.
Is that floral and non-floral?
Incorrect answer.
Bridgman, 5 seconds. Stephen?
Floral and fauna.
I'm hoping you guys would get this one. No, that's an incorrect answer. It's monocotyledons and dictyledons.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Right.
That one. For 20 points. 20-point question. The Motion Picture Academy Award winning song for 1945 was It Might As Well Be Spring. Name the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical motion picture the song was featured in.
Michael Bridgman.
Oklahoma.
Incorrect answer.
Countryside, 5 seconds. James.
Mary Poppins.
State Fair. For 15 points. At times, the executive branch of the federal government does not want to turn over information to the legislative branch of government. In denying this transfer, what term is used to justify holding on to this information?
James, Countryside Academy.
Executive privilege.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. A math question for 10 points. Find all the integral factors of this polynomial. X cubed minus y cubed.
And that's time.
The factors are x minus y, and the other one is x squared plus xy plus y squared. For 15 points, the U.S. government first imposed a levy on incomes to help finance what war?
James, Countryside Academy.
The Civil War.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. For 20 points, an American historian wrote The Development of Modern Europe, and with his wife as a collaborator wrote The Rise of American Civilization, America in Mid-Passage, and American Spirit. Can you name them? Charles and Mary Beard. For 20 points, name the blind Benedictine monk who invented champagne.
Stephen Bridgman.
Champagne.
Incorrect answer.
Nice touch. Cortland, Countryside.
Mendel.
Dom Perignon. Oh. Good stuff. Not yet, though. For 5 points, identify this U.S. territory from the description of its flag. It has a gold American eagle between the blue letters V and I.
Ryan Bridgman.
Virgin Islands.
That is a correct answer for 5 points. You might want to get your pencils out for this one. For 15 points, I'll name 5 of history's greatest conquerors, and you arrange them in chronological order. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Attila the Hun, Adolf Hitler, Napoleon Bonaparte. Chronological order.
Ryan Bridgman.
Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, Napoleon, and Hitler.
That's incorrect.
Countryside. Anybody give it a shot there? James.
Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, Napoleon, and Adolf Hitler. Is that the same one? Sorry, I didn't hear. I wasn't paying attention to what he said.
Incorrect. You had Attila and Genghis. Attila was first, Genghis was second. For 15 points, who conquered more territory than any other leader in world history? His dates are 1162 to 1227.
Michael Bridgman.
Genghis Khan.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. And he's conquered 4.86 million square miles. Alexander the Great had 2.18 million square miles. And we had 12. So, for 5 points, subtle, long-term damage to the body's main line of defense, the immune system, may lie at the root of this ability of asbestos to cause diseases of what organ?
Jason Bridgman.
The lungs.
That's correct answer for 5 points. For 15 points, what position or job did Judas Iscariot hold in the group of 12 apostles?
James Countryside.
He was a treasurer.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. Math question for 15 points. Well, kind of math. In trigonometry, what is the value of the cosecant of a 30-degree angle in a right triangle?
And that's time.
And the answer is 2. For 10 points, who was president of the United States when Thomas Edison invented the phonograph in 1877?
Time again.
Rutherford B. Hayes from Ohio. For 10 points, if the president-elect were to die after the Electoral College had voted, who would become president?
James, Countryside.
The vice president-elect.
That's correct answer for 10 points. Another math question for
And
5.
this will be the final question in this first round.
Another math question for 5 points. At the rate of 14 miles in 10 minutes, how far will a car go in an hour?
Stephen, Bridgman.
84 miles.
That is correct answer for 5 points.
That'll wrap up the first half of today's academic challenge. We'll be back with the score and the 60-second round after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's great Southwest. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you've gone to college for it. You have no pressure on you because you went to answer. Oh.
It was 60-40 their favor.
I just don't remember. Did you? I don't remember. Yes, in Florida.
The first math question we got, all I should did was write potato over and over and over again. She has more math skills than I do.
That's what made me think that.
All right, then. What?
You should have got that one.
I thought there was a catch to it.
Well, I almost did E and S apostrophe.
Yeah, I actually would have said that too.
All right, people, let's come back and get on with the next 60-second round. And here we go. At the end of the first half, the score is Countryside Academy 60, Bridgman 40. And we move on to the 60-second round. And teams, you'll have 3 categories to choose from. We'll give you 60 seconds to answer as many of the 10 questions as you can. Each one is worth 10 points, and there is a 20-point bonus if you answer all 10 within the time limit. You are encouraged to consult with one another at this point. The answers must come from the team captain. You are allowed to pass on a question. After the minute is up, the opposing team will have a chance to answer any questions the first team could not answer. Bridgman, you're trailing at the moment. You'll have first choice of these categories, and they are finish the verse, isms, or dictionary. What is your choice, please?
Sure.
We're choosing dictionary.
They're going to go with dictionary. And Bill,
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, we'll put 60 seconds on the clock.
There's a preview to this. So
Okay.
the Latin root word for dict, D-I-C-T, means to say or declare. For each of the following definitions, give the English word which contains this Latin root. Ready?
60 seconds.
To declare in advance, foretell.
Dictate.
Incorrect. To charge with commission of a crime or accuse.
Pass.
Manner of expression in words, choice of words, enunciation.
Diction.
Correct. A formal authoritative pronouncement of a principle, opinion, or fact.
Pass.
An official public proclamation or order having the force of law.
Dictate.
Incorrect. A curse, an excretion, evil talk about someone, slander.
Pass.
A blessing, a prayer at the close of a church service.
Benediction.
Correct answer. Totalitarian ruler.
Dictator.
Correct. Roman Catholic censure drawing sacraments with Christian burial from a person or religion or region. Sorry.
Pass.
3 correct.
1, 2, 3.
Total of 30 points.
Okay.
Countryside Academy, you'll have a chance to answer those that were either passed on or answered incorrectly. And Bill, whenever you are ready.
Okay. And then just to reemphasize, the English word which contains the Latin root of dict. To declare in advance, foretell.
You can pass, don't forget. No, they can't.
No, they can't.
I'm sorry.
Foreshadow.
Predict.
Oh, predict. Okay, yeah, the word dict is in there.
To charge with the commission of a crime or accuse.
Convict.
Indict.
Indict.
A formal authoritative pronouncement of a principle, opinion, or fact.
Dictator.
Dictum.
Dictum.
Dictum of fusion. An official public proclamation or order having the force of law.
Verdict.
Edict. Nope.
There we go. What do we get on that?
Zero.
I don't. 0 correct on that.
We tried.
For Countryside Academy.
Gave him some good shots. Some good shots. That was
That
a tough
was a
category.
hard. All right, we have 2 categories left, and Countryside, you will have your choice of the last 2, which are finish the verse and isms. What are we going to do?
We'll do isms.
Isms, Countryside Academy. Put 60 seconds on the clock, and Bill, when you're ready.
Okay, this is again a preview. If I said doubting religious doctrines, you'd say skepticism. Give the name of these isms as I give the following cues. Ready? Giving jobs to relations.
Pass.
Giving unfair preference.
Favoritism.
Correct. Building an empire.
Imperialism.
Correct. Peculiarity of behavior.
Queerism.
Incorrect. Prize fighting.
Barneyism. What?
Incorrect.
Guys, come on.
Non-belligerence.
Pass.
Devotion to the interests of man.
Humanism.
Correct. Excluding from society.
Isolationism.
Incorrect. Writing for the press.
Journalism.
Correct. Consuming
Go ahead, finish it.
consuming its own kind.
Cannibalism. Yeah,
Correct.
cannibalism.
Total of
Nobody's
5?
got that question. It's great.
Total of 5 correct for Countryside Academy.
Now we go back to Bridgman.
Bridgman, you'll have a chance now to answer those that were either passed on or answered incorrectly.
All right, you guys ready? Okay, giving jobs to relations.
Nepotism.
Correct. Peculiarity of behavior.
Peculiarism. Peculiarism. Sorry.
Mannerism. Prize fighting.
Boxism.
Pugilism. Non-belligerence.
Passivism.
Correct answer. Excluding from society.
Banishism.
Ostracism. That's it.
That's it?
2 correct.
2 correct for Bridgman on that one. All right, that'll wrap up the 60-second round. We'll check the scores and conclude the game with the final round next here on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
It's the same. I was just not expecting Ben, if I'm on, I guess we should have went, but I was expecting some like disease thing.
I know.
Do I have a muscle?
Shank.
You guys prepared to give us a little update on your
I'm
schools?
deferring to Ryan.
All right. I'll send it to you. You can send it to him.
Got it.
All right.
Ryan.
Shut up, Matt. Don't. Shut up, Matt. That's nice. I don't want that.
I can't tell her hair color, but
All right, guys, let's bring it back. And do we have substitutions? We do. All right. Aisha went away. Who do we have instead?
my sister.
What? Am I butchering your name? What is it? Aisha. Okay.
Aisha.
I'll leave the E out of it.
No, she's gonna do it. It's fine.
S-H-A.
You know, it's okay if you mispronounce your name.
That's right.
Got one over here too.
You got one. Nothing more annoying than your name.
All right.
I've been called Mr. Clean my whole life.
You want to throw around this guy?
I got that. Okay.
Yeah, especially
It's
if
the
you're
feeling.
That was the one, yeah.
I know, I
I've
keep
never been in
watching.
the same thing with you at the same time.
Yeah, like,
Well, last year.
nervous.
Matt.
I get called Michaela more than you think.
Tarzan.
It's terrible.
But you can be like a female version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
I'm Michaela.
Michael.
We got Matt.
Jump in real quick for that.
Bring it to school. We do get a timeout. Sit in the desk.
Bless you.
Just have tables with these. Jason, you left to like me spinning around in your chair.
Because this was over here. I'm like,
Okay. Everybody ready? We'll have the substitutes identify themselves, and then we'll wrap up. Here we go. The score at the end of the 62nd round, Countryside Academy 110 points, Bridgman 90. Things are tight down the stretch. Time to find out a little bit about what's happening at each of our participating schools. We'll start with Bridgman. Captain Stephen,
I'm deferring it to Ryan High.
take it away, Ryan.
Alrighty, our boys basketball team won a big game Monday, and our second round of districts is next Wednesday against New Buffalo, so good luck to them. MME testing for our juniors is in full swing, and that's going to be tough, so we're hoping that they do well. We have a band festival next Tuesday, hoping they do well as well. Good luck to everybody involved. And our spring sports are starting, so we're always looking for more people to join.
All right.
Find a baseball in all that snow.
Very carefully.
Thank you, Ryan. Countryside Academy, James.
We raised nearly $700 in a penny war for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society as the seniors were victorious, although it had been hugely contested by sophomores, which are they are sore losers. Next week, the school will fundraise for prom with a class competition spirit week. The Spanish Club will delight the school with their empanada sales. Empanada sale. You know, all right. Thank you.
Obviously, you're not a member of the Spanish
Thank you to WSJM for hosting this year's academic challenge. We really appreciated it.
All right, James, thank you kindly. We got a couple of substitutions. Need you to step up to the microphone and identify yourselves. First from Countryside Academy.
Shania Edwards.
Welcome, Shadiah. And from Bridgman,
Matt Montgomery.
Matt, welcome. Let's begin the second half of today's academic challenge between 4th seed Bridgman and 5th seed Countryside Academy. Bill Klein, whenever you're ready.
Well, I was going to throw this question out, but since we had that announcement about this, I thought this was appropriate. For 15 points, here's a puzzler. How can a pitcher be declared the winning pitcher in a baseball game without throwing a single ball to the plate?
Matt Bridgman.
If he is chosen to be MVP.
Incorrect.
Countryside, take a shot at that. Cortland.
Stolen base.
I'm sorry?
Stolen base.
Incorrect. If he picks off a base runner to the top of the inning and his team rallies to win on the bottom of the inning, never thrown above a little plate. Or if he was to start the game and the opposing team forfeited.
Wow.
That's great.
Actually, I was about to say that.
For 15 points, a person who sets glass in window frames is called what? We're looking for a 7-letter word starting with G.
James, Countryside Academy.
Glassman.
Incorrect.
Bridgman. Ryan.
Glazier.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. For 10 points, why would Nicaragua have a good geographic site for an inter-ocean canal?
Matt Bridgman.
Because it's on the Central American Isthmus.
Incorrect.
Cortland, Countryside.
Volcanoes and mountains.
Incorrect. The correct answers, there are two actually. It was a shorter distance than the Panama, and it could have been a sea level to sea level canal. They wouldn't have had to do locks.
That would have been good.
But they couldn't get permission. For 15 points, a math question, your favorite. What is the sine of 0.5 pi radians?
Stephen Bridgman.
1.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. For 10 points, Washington, D.C. was sacked by the British in the War of 1812. In what other war was it threatened by an invasion force?
James, Countryside Academy.
The Civil War.
That is a correct answer for 10 points. For 10 points, translate the following sage but wordy bit of advice to a common saying. Judicious and accurate appraisal of the meritoriousness or otherwise of the internal content of a specific tome would be totally devoid of feasibility were it to be predicated exclusively upon an assessment of purely external.
Stephen Bridgman.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
That's a correct answer for 10 points. Oops. 10 points for Bridgman. For 15 points, I love that question. For 15 points, named after a scientist, it is a series of oxidation reduction reactions in the living organisms which produce carbon dioxide and water to provide energy in the form of phosphate-rich ATP.
Stephen Bridgman.
Calvin cycle?
Incorrect. What is it called?
Countryside Academy. 5 seconds.
It's the Krebs cycle. For 15 points, the calyx of a flower is the outer green part of the blossom. What are the parts of the calyx called? Finish the sentence.
Matt Bridgman.
The pistil and stamen.
Incorrect.
Countryside. 5 seconds. James.
Is it the flower?
It's a sepal.
I guess it's the leaf.
For 20 points, name the lake created by the Aswan High Dam.
Michael Bridgman.
The Aswan High Lake.
Incorrect.
Countryside. Cortland.
Hudson Bay.
Lake Nasser. Was there yesterday. For 10 points, the B-29 that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima August 6th, 1945, was piloted by Colonel Paul Tibbets. What was the plane's nickname?
James. James Countryside.
The Nola Gay.
That's a correct answer for 10 points. For 20 points, Pan American and KLM Boeing 747s collided on the runway in 1977 on what island group?
Ryan Bridgman.
Tenerife.
That is a correct answer for 20 points. For 10 points, the British dependency is a group of 360 small islands, 20 of which are inhabited. Located 580 miles east of North Carolina, its capital is Hamilton. What is this popular resort area?
Matt, Bridgman.
The British Virgin Islands.
Incorrect answer.
Countryside Academy. Cortland.
Philippines.
Incorrect. Bermuda. For 10 points, for the funeral of President Grant in 1885, two of the pallbearers were Southern generals, Joe Johnston and Simon Buckner, and two were Northern. Name either of the Yankees.
James, Countryside Academy.
Ulysses. Ulysses Grant.
Incorrect answer.
Darn.
Bridgman. Stephen?
Grant and Meade.
It was the funeral of President Grant. I don't think he
Oh,
could be his own
okay.
pallbearer. William Sherman and Philip Sheridan were the
Not
pallbearers. For 20 points, The Virginian is a novel set not in Virginia, but in what western state?
Matt, Bridgman.
Nevada.
Incorrect.
Countryside, James.
Oklahoma.
Wyoming. Define and spell synagogue for 5 points.
James, Countryside Academy.
Synagoge.
And the definition?
It is the religious place of worship for Jewish or Judaism.
It's an incorrect.
Ryan, Bridgman.
A place of worship for Judaism, Synagogue.
That is correct for 5 points. No, you missed the U.
Oh, Mr. U. Oh, okay.
For 15 points, what internationally known mathematician invented a primitive computer, devised the first public bus service, contributed to knowledge of the vacuum, and wrote 2 religious classics?
Ryan, Bridgman.
Charles Babbage.
Incorrect.
Countryside Academy, 5 seconds.
Blaise Pascal. For 20 points, the Mighty Five was a group of Russian composers of the late 19th century. Name any 2 of them.
Cortland, Countryside Academy.
Bach.
And
I don't know.
Incorrect.
Bridgman. Matt.
Bach and Mozart.
Incorrect. Borodin, Kui, Balakarev, Mussorgsky, Rimsky-Korsakov. For 15 points. 15-point question. What brass musical instrument was used in opera orchestras long before it appeared in symphonic orchestras?
Stephen, Bridgman.
The trumpet.
Incorrect.
Countryside, 5 seconds. Shadiah.
French horn.
Trombone. For 15 points, when Pharaoh asked Moses for a miracle to show that God was all-powerful, Aaron's rod was turned into a serpent. When Pharaoh's magicians performed the same miracle, what happened?
Stephen, Bridgman.
It stayed as a stick, a rod.
Incorrect.
Countryside Academy, 5 seconds. James.
He turned water into blood.
No. Well, he did later, but that was a
Yeah.
different miracle. Aaron's serpent swallowed the other ones.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
For 10 points, as a mass of air rises, what happens to its temperature and pressure?
Cortland, Countryside.
It decreases.
That is a correct answer for 10 points. For 15 points, she lived in Hades for 1/3 of the time, causing the barren seasons of the year.
Michaela, Countryside.
Persephone.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. For 20 points, This god, the son of Apollo and the nymph Coronis, was the god of healing in Greek mythology. He was slain by a thunderbolt hurled by Zeus. Can you name him?
James, Countryside.
Hermes?
Incorrect.
Bridgman. Ryan.
Dionysus.
Incorrect. Asclepius. For 20 points, the operatic theme Bacchanal comes from which opera? I'll tell you that the title is from the Bible and its composer is Saint Saëns.
Cortland, the Countryside Academy.
Genesis.
Incorrect.
Bridgman, 5 seconds. Stephen.
Moses.
Samson and Delilah. For 15 points, Thomas Hardy wrote Return of the Native. Who wrote Native Son?
Time.
Richard Wright. For 20 points, the British commander, General Howe, took Philadelphia in the winter of 1777-78 after defeating Washington's troops at what 2 battles? Brandywine and Germantown.
And that is time. We are tied at this point. The next correct answer
Will be the winner.
will be the winner.
Okay.
So we are in overtime here, so to speak.
Okay, for 15 points. A military officer is constantly close to the president, carrying a black bag which contains a variety of codes which would authorize the launching of nuclear weapons. This briefcase has been given what nickname?
Michael Bridgman.
The football.
That is a correct answer for 15.
All right, folks. That wraps it up. That is the end of today's academic challenge match. We'll check and recheck and tabulate the scores and announce the winners after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Boy, what a great match. You guys
Wow,
did a great
that's
job.
I know we're just I wanted to.
Hang on a second, guys. Let me wrap this thing up officially for the radio, and then you guys can go. But rating here according to this is I am here, and then that was the final one. So, yeah.
I'm glad you said to me because I was about to say
That was like really close.
That would have been bad.
I knew exactly what you was talking about.
Yeah. It was on Breaking Bad.
I just finished watching all of the Breaking Bad.
All right, let me wrap this up here, and then we'll let you go. Here we go. We are back on WSJM's Academic Challenge to announce today's winner and thank our sponsors and the winners by a score of 170 to 155. Winning on the last question, the team from Bridgman. How about a nice hand for Bridgman? Congratulations. And we thank you all for joining us on WSJM's Academic Challenge. Now, this is the first round of our single elimination tournament. Congratulations and thank you to Countryside Academy for participating. Bridgman will move on to the next round. They'll get the winner of Hartford and Berrien Springs in a couple of weeks. The Academic Challenge is brought to you by Southwestern Michigan College, Lake Michigan College, Western Michigan University Southwest, and by Chemical Bank. We'll see you next time on Academic Challenge. Thank you, guys.
Good job.